Okay, 0 dropped frames. Welcome. I'm still setting up, but welcome to my stream. I just dropped a little bit of LN into the pot to keep it from going too hot, even though it's only showing 20 in BIOS at the moment. Just gonna, I have a socket heater on there, but I'm just gonna throw a little bit more shop tile around the system like I had yesterday, so in case I want to run long, I don't get any condensation issues. The desk fan is pretty good for that though. Yeah, and my main camera doesn't look amazing at the moment, but I think it's going to look better in Windows once it the sound is reset. Thanks for telling me. Let's check. Yeah, the sound keeps resetting to 63 out of 100. Not sure what is if that's an application overriding it or just Windows doing that every time it boots. So hi everyone. Hi. I'm tired today, but it's going to be a great stream anyway. I like to exaggerate sometimes, as you might have guessed already. So just the dims are quite close to the pod here, so I need to be careful with those. Cover them in shop towel. Shop towel is amazing. This is the first time I'm ever running this motherboard, by the way. Straight on LN2 is how I like it. I'm a little bit insane when it comes to just being reckless with hardware. So George, I saw you in the viewer list. Hopefully you're still there. If I have questions about the Apex 9, they'll be directed at you. Just to let you know. I've switched up my setup a little bit to give me more room on the desk, but it also makes the whole fan, bench table and screen set up a little bit weird. Okay, hold on, I need to just do a few things here. Just gonna let my Insta people know as well. It's gonna be a slow start to the stream, but hang in there. I'm sure I have about 2 hours of benching in me, as long as the board does as well. And the chip. Okay, I just need to reposition this camera because the way the fan is angled at the moment, it's not really blowing the condensation away as it should. Hopefully you can still see the postcode vaguely there. Okay. I think minus 50 is where most people turn on the LN2 mode. What else do I need? How is everybody doing? So, just making sure all the notifications have gone out. Thanks Ray for doing on Discord. Stream stability seems fine. And just a quick Insta post. I know this is pretty rude, but just didn't get around to it with my usual issues. So yeah, my current results on the 7350K are on an awful chip that's almost 1.3 vid on SS. So I'm definitely going to be improving that. As you may have noticed, I'm sitting down today, taking it a bit more easy than before. All right, let's get our baseline here. There's a BCLK profile. There's a slam. I don't see an LN2 profile on this board actually. I'm on the latest BIOS. I'm on 1301. Okay, let's just do everything manual. No multi-core enhancement. AVX offset. Let's keep it at 0 for now. I'm not really, how should I put it? I haven't benched Intel in a while. Oh, seeing the smoke go onto the main screen, that's a bit annoying. Let's see if I can sort that out. SVID disabled. We go like CL14 to start off with. New Samsung single-sided. Okay. See if we can get this profile loaded up. We don't have the same dependencies here between on-core and DRAM as we did before. What kind of LSC do people use on this board, I wonder? Let's try 6. Can always whip out my multimeter later on. Yeah, I didn't consider this whole condensation thing. Let's see what I can do. Hopefully you can still see the temps. No, I can't see the screen anymore. Well, I can. Gonna save a profile. Grabbing a bit more LN2. '78 postcode. DRAM, alright, probably just a bad IMC. Let's throw it into LN2 mode. gonna give it a couple of retries, and then I'll have to drop down to 3600. These chips have bad IMCs. Let's see. Okay, I'm dropping frames. That looks like a post actually. LN2 mode disabled. Wow, the LN2 mode jumper is completely missing, so I'm just gonna have to grab one from another board. No idea which position is on and off. I'll just toggle between them and see what happens. Yeah, Rave, I'll once I have the system in BIOS with a reasonable temp and stuff, I'll just go into the vids briefly. It does like to throw 78. Can people make out the postcode? I can try and get closer if you can't. I can barely see it on my screen, but on my screen it's pretty small. Okay. Let's go into the binning once this is booted. Or not? 22. I'm gonna safe boot it. Tad small. All right, let's figure this out. Safe mode. Might be a little bit improved. LN2 mode enabled. Very good. Okay. Just gonna slowly go down in temps. I have a better view of my pot now. I have a worse view of the actual normal screen for my benching system, but I can reach everything easier, so the setup seems okay. All right. So these are all 7350Ks. I bought one just from eBay. It was horrible on SS. You can check my current scores on SS. That's that chip. It's deleted. I deleted it myself, but it's just horrible. And it has a vid of 1.28, which is borderline. Shouldn't have even left the factory, in my opinion. Then I bought one off a local forum called OCAU. With this Apex actually, and that one also has a really crappy vid basically. Notice the weak numbers, so This is 2016 week 50, 2016 week 49, same batch, and then 48. So these are all really close together. But I think there's been speculation in the past on hardware board anyway that 7350Ks were just all just, you know, just jammed. They were just all just output from this one factory within a couple of weeks. So I don't think this is too much of a big coincidence now that I'm thinking about it, but still kind of sucks. Anyway, so those top two I'll just have to sell straight away again, I think. This is just from a friend. Same batch as the OCAU one, but significantly better vid. Supposedly it originally came from Hazan, and people have gotten good chips and bad chips from Hazan, so take that whichever way you want to take it. The one in the system right now I bought from eBay US, actually, funnily enough. It's a different week again, and it's the only one with sub 1.2 vid. I was surprised to see that. It was the last one I binned, actually, and if this would have ended up being like a 1.25, I would have been without a good chip, basically. I mean, I'm sure the Hazan one would have done fine, but this chip at least has some sort of potential of actually being pretty good. Okay, I hope that answers your question. That's the sources, those are the batch numbers. That's all I did. I didn't do any benchmarking. I just made sure that it ran. So in terms of benches, pretty straightforward. Obviously Cinebench. I'll probably run the other Cinebenches as well. They're not listed here. But GPU Pi, W Prime. I only have a Server 2012 install I just made. It's a really good install. I put some effort into it. That's why my stream was a little bit later. But W Prime may suck pretty hard on this OS. Every other bench will run okay. XTU, I might do that just for lols at the very end of the stream. I have no idea how it runs on Server 2012, if it runs even. Yeah, I might sub some Division 3 stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the system. 1.1, yeah, great. Thanks for for making me feel bad, Rave. What board are you running that in? Is it? I think it's some sort of FGA board, right? Hey, Ethan, welcome back to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what are temps looking like? Ooh, the chat is actually running right across where the temp display is, so I'm switching that up. Also, just giving a tad more brightness so you can actually see the temp. Okay, I might have to adjust that in OS, but 1 second. Okay, that seems acceptable to me. Let's get into OS. I don't think I need anything else here. I don't think George is on the stream anymore, but if anybody finds something glaringly wrong, don't hesitate to tell me, because... And the system actually froze. That's interesting. Oh, I wasn't loaded up. My profile wasn't loaded up. That was safe boot. Yeah, Evga. That's the best Billzoid pronunciation ever, is Evga. I love it. Asus Bias likes to freeze, yeah. What others are there? There's other boards that do that too. So if I turn down the brightness on my pod cam a little bit, maybe the boot display looks a little bit nicer. Okay. Alright, Asus. Alright, Chip. You're both untested. But Let's go. Oh, this is with the profile actually loaded. Just for my own sort of peace of mind, I'm going to drop it down to 3600. So RSVD switch is flipped, LN2 mode is on, profile is saved. I should really have the overclocking guide on. This is how should I say, if yesterday was a good session, a session where I knew what I was doing, relatively speaking, then today is going to be the noob session. Please laugh at me. I encourage it. This is, you know, supposed to be fun. It's not liking that. Oh, we might be a little bit too hot. Sock champion. You didn't plug in the keyboard. Well, that's that can be a problem. All right, retrain the damn memory board. We don't have all day here. Let's give the IMC a little bit more cold. Maybe that will make it happy. 78. Isn't 78 the boot code you always retry through? I think that was it. Yeah. Oh guys, someone who really knows an Apex pretty well is watching the stream. As I said, please laugh at me. It's highly encouraged to laugh at me. 55 is memory, yeah. That's sounding like full pot at minus 134 on the probe. Which is not great. I switched the probe from last live stream. Not great at all. Bin the probes. Yeah, I think I might have to manually input these voltages. RSVD doesn't seem to be working full pot. So 71 is supposedly PLL voltage too high. 6A. Okay. RSVD switch is off again. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, I guess everyone was watching the. Is this safe food? Yeah. I was wondering. Gonna see if I can get into BIOS just with RSVD off. Of course, the system is like minus 140 now, so maybe it's just because it's warmer. Just like last night, plenty of food and drink to keep me awake. Well, that's interesting. Still safe mode though. Pushing up IO and SA a little bit. We eat snakes in Australia. Alright, I know it's an old joke, but have you ever run the 7350K, George? Socket heater is on, so that's good. Oh, that applied. Okay, I'm happy with that. I don't really expect it to be benchable without any of the minor voltages set, but it's worth trying. Okay, how's InOS looking? For those who were there yesterday, better or worse? Oh, okay, my my Turbo vCore shortcut is hidden behind a lamp physically, so that's not good. That's better. Just gonna put all my shortcuts over where you can see them. Okay, let's go full pot. It is an interesting effect to how that smoke go across the screen, but yeah, I wish I could configure my desk fan into a pull configuration. Screen cam looking good, yeah. Alright. Okay, it's frozen. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I could. Oh, 0 zeros. So fans hanging off the pot. Yeah. Usually they ice up though. I like the desk fan. I just didn't consider it with the way my camera is set up at the moment. What I'm trying to say is, like, if I had an infinite amount of space, then the desk fan would definitely be better. It gets rid of your condensation way better. If you look at some of the overclocking comps and stuff, a lot of the guys just have like a 120mm fan sitting in the same sort of orientation as this desk fan is right now. Okay, DMI boot and DMI voltage, 1.75. So 1.75 for both of those. VCIO and VCI boot voltage is going to be 1.35. PLLs, both PLLs 1.8 upwards. So there's boot and core PLL. PLL bandwidth. Start with 5. I had more space on my desk. I'm already on the lowest setting on the fan. I'll keep an eye on it to see how annoying it gets on the main screen. That looks better. That looks better. Okay. Let's see. We're not that high actually. It's only the initial hit as well. Okay. Let's go full pot. Make sure that everything still works. That's another hang. Maybe the USB ports are dropping out or something. I can make a fraction more space and shove the entire rig over a little bit. It's hard work, guys. Server 2012 is an excellent benching OS for quite a lot of different situations, actually. One second, I'll go into more depth about the server. Gone too cold to actually effectively try these new different voltages. Alright, minus 120, whatever that is in real temps. Yeah, no longer it's no longer 00. Okay, so Ethan, Windows Server 2012 is based off of Windows 10. Windows 10 is not really a good benching operating system because of many reasons. Sorry, Windows 8. Windows 8. So it's very light in terms of memory usage, and it also has things like it doesn't, when the license expires, it doesn't pop up as many warnings and disable your desktop background and stuff like that. And it's good to use with anything that isn't too old. So it's not good for SuperPi, obviously. It's not good for W prime, but it's good for, you know, X265, GPU Pi. So minus 110. Let's see if we can throw in a bench at this point. Less smoke. See, I was hoping to have more space for myself, but because of the smoke issue, I'm slowly losing the space I gained by rejigging all my cameras and screens. Taking a while to post, but looking like a post. Okay. Let's try to hold minus 110. Or thereabouts. Oh, Turbo V took a while to open up. Let's check if the mount is good at least. We can always try and figure out our cold boot issues later. Okay. What's something good to aim for? 5.8? Let's go 1.8 V-core. And 58. Yeah, it didn't apply. I'll try. I have to be careful with my encore as well. I should fix the encore and bias maybe. Oh, that's right. Cache is tied to core voltage on this architecture. Let's go 1.7 on both. Actually, let's apply everything else first. Because sometimes cache can be nasty to apply. And people say AMD is hard to bench Sub-Zero A. LN2 mode enabled. Why is it bothering with CPU voltage? Cache frequency is at 39. Yeah, that needs to go higher. Let's go 45. I think these need to be set. I'm so rusty on this board, man. Okay, that's a post. $1886K. I barely even bench Intel, to be honest. Let's do a Cinebench run at those settings. Make sure we have really got what we need. Yeah, I entered the draw, but minus 73. That's not good. I entered the draw, but technically it's not open to residents of Australia at all. Five gigahertz, and we have our 3600 RAM, and we have our 4.5 Encore, even though you can't see it. Rave, one of the few drawbacks of Windows Server 2012 is that to my knowledge, it's not possible to run it outside of admin mode, and admin always has to have a password. No, not real time. Okay, getting some LN while that's running. What did I miss? Alright, so we can bench at minus 90. So that's a score of 563. Just gonna check my own results of what I currently have for Cinebench. .606 at 5.3. Let's beat that. Let's beat that. While we're here. Let's go 5.5 actually. Sure it applied. I've got to enable diagnostic mode as well. Watchdog timeout. Okay. Let's get our OS in better shape. Have to set maximum and stuff like that. Might have been too cold actually. Alright, let's catch up on chat. Somebody said something. George. You found the so you found the same about not being able to disable the password, or you found the same about Server 2012 being a good bench OS? Set like 1500 maximum, and sorry, also diag mode. Yeah, it's It's kind of a personal preference thing. I'm not saying it's absolutely a better OS. All I'm saying is you don't have to roll in USB drivers. Some of the quirkiness of Windows 7 isn't there, but yeah, I think if you gave two really good clockers the same chip and gave them an infinite amount of LN2, then they would both get the same result with both OSs, more or less, give or take. 5 viewers, nice. Yeah, I need to get into that remove mem business. Sounds amazing. Sounds goddamn amazing. And we're to warm again. So I just gotta re-enable Asus. You know what I was running without yesterday was Superfetch. That's goddamn embarrassing. Imagine how good my scores would have been with Superfetch on. Let's grab a quick CPU Z valid. And also keep above minus 100. Saved okay. And I would like to, what I would really like to do is bench this run, or time this run. So that's what I'm going to do. Clock watchdog timeout. Let's give something else a go in case it was weirdness with that particular bench. go 5.2 and real time. That's 5.2. That's like minus 120. What's my current best, I wonder? I have on this a 23 FPS. At 5.3. On better RAM though. On the MOCF. Almost, yeah. That was at 5.3, so let's go 5.4. Just watching my temps. That's a crash. What could possibly even be going wrong here? So 5.3. The scaling is awful. Okay, system is back up. Check our max valid. Let's see how long we can keep moving the mouse actually temp wise. .120 is good. 124 is good. $130, $135. Almost sounds like full pot. That froze really close to full pot. Maybe just a tad more voltage. Oh, it's freezing in here. Let's turn up the heating a bit. So I have liquid nitrogen cooling down my CPU, rags and things keeping my RAM warm, socket heater keeping my RAM warm, fan to blow away the stuff, but it's making me cold. Then I have a heater on the ground to keep me warm. No, RSVD didn't work. Yeah, now we're too cold again. Yeah, it's too cold to boot. Okay, George, I'm flicking RSVD one more time. Maybe it's now going to work with, in addition to. Yeah, it's looking kind of okay actually. Given the issues I'm facing, I'm also gonna up my RAM a bit so that my benchmarks actually turn into something great. Even on a 7350K? Oh, SA seemed low. Okay, that's definitely not great. 1.9 on the RAM. Well, 1.85 on the RAM. And let's go. The IMC may be awful, but let's go 3866. Whew. A lot of sugar. Keep me awake. Well, it's not looking like a complete boot failure, but that can still happen. Hang on 4F is normal. I mean, not hang, but staying there for a long time. 32 is usually a good sign. Yeah, okay. Let's see what happens. I don't want to pull down as I'm getting to OS. I'm actually just gonna make sure that my RAM settings have applied. I'm going to set some more stuff like services. Yeah, it might have been that SA. Let's give it a cycle and go down a bit more. Yeah, I typoed SA to 1.25 when it should have been 3.5. Slams. Does Slam even bench anymore? Lazy benching? In what sense? In the sense that the board sets your voltages for you? In the sense that I'm sitting down instead of standing up? Or lazy in the sense that I'm not too bothered that the system isn't working too well? I've got to elaborate here. $78. Okay, I'm gonna power cycle. Regardless of what happens here, I'm gonna go to minus 130, so closer to full pot on this probe, and see what goes, what I can bench at that temp. The smoke situation doesn't seem as bad anymore. So guys, story time in chat if possible. I hate it. No, that was just a slow boot. If somebody has something to share about how they're not watching the World Cup, I'd be very interested in that story. Okay, need a bit more cold. If I had known, I would have whipped out my F1 Dark, which I recently acquired. So this is a 5.5 run. Cinebench is just not cooperating, is it? Do I have cracked paste? Should I be getting hardware info out? Maybe it's time for that. It's starting to look like bad paste here. I hope hardware info is standalone. Okay, let's do a run. Wouldn't even apply 56. Maybe I have a terrible mount. Hey, Timayu. Welcome to the stream. Teach me your ways. I'm struggling with this cheap Chinese chip. Yeah, it's full pot is about minus 140 something. So this is actually like minus 140, 150. I swapped temp for probes, but I think maybe the thermometer, which is harder for me to do anything about right now. Yeah, sure. I I'll be as diplomatic as I can and say I usually bench on a platform that just goes full pod anyway. Where where on the probe is the full pod, and I'm happy with that. Then I know if full pod is at minus 150, I know that there's a lot of load on the system if it goes to minus 148 or whatever. But yeah, I should seeing drop frames, but I should get into the habit of which I usually do. I don't know why they've suddenly gone this way. Yeah. Again, I usually bench on a platform where the IMC just reacts the same way every temperature. My internet seems a bit borked again. All right. Ugh. I should be using sensors only. Okay, here we go. Can't even read that. So core 1 and 2 are both showing 100 degrees Celsius plus. Let's see what happens when I run a bench. .48 Celsius. Yeah, that looks like a crack. I'm gonna at least warm up to like minus 20 once to see what happens. Yeah, but that wasn't really looking very good. Yeah, I mean, my probes go down to minus 200. When they were in working order, that's what they went to. But obviously now, I don't know. Must be the thermometer itself rather than the probes. So bias is showing 20. The pro is showing minus 10. I may have to remount. Just not liking it. Yeah. It's freshly delidded today too, so I'll have to have a look under the IHS as well. This is just a waste of LN2, you know? So it's bad enough having cold boot issues, but if you can't even put load on the chip after that, what's the point? It looked like it was thermal throttling in X265. Could see Task Manager dropping the frequency, which with everything set manual doesn't really make too much sense. Did the Socceroos win? Do you care? So that's 2 temp probes not working correctly. Here we have an unopened one from EK. Completely. Yeah, the stream title is correct. What I'm streaming is not. There we go. Alright. Yeah, maybe PyFast. I like PyFast. As I said, completely new probe. Going to also repaste it, obviously. If that doesn't work, then chuck out the cheap Chinese 4 input temp probe. Thermometer, I mean. So power is disconnected. Just gonna try and get everything reasonably dry. Socket stayed dry. Just double checking that. But I think my my blue tack job around the corners of the chip was a bit too high, maybe. The IHS is probably not ideally sort of flush either. So if you have two dodgy contacts like that, it really adds up very quickly to what we saw there, maybe a 30-40 degree difference at least. So it's Gelid Extreme paste. Yeah, I've heard different things about going to full pot on Intel. Some people say putting load on it while you're pulling it down is worse because that would kill the paste. Others say you can't go to full pot. I don't know. I suppose the real answer is should do something in between. So don't go too fast. Don't go too slow. Put a little bit of load on it, but not too much. On Ryzen I just pour, you know. These IHSs, the fact that you have to contend with 2 different pastes as well, 2 different paste jobs. I'm not a fan, but then again, this is the fastest platform. I can't be too critical of it. So many variables in benching already, you know, why have to put up with bad paste? I don't get it. Worry about your RAM speed, RAM timings, on-core, core, mount quality, board quality, cleanliness of your DIMM slots, OS efficiency. Why also this? Suppose if you're used to it, you're used to it, you know, but I'm not. Okay. The paste under the IHS seemed reasonably okay. So George is saying that PyFast isn't a continuous load. Do the batches actually have pauses in between them or something? I thought PyFast was just like batches are like loops in SuperPy, but what do I know? I'm gonna magic spray my DIMM slots as well. Okay. George, I completely disagree with you. Normal OC is just click a button. Maybe loop through XTU or whatever. Here you've got a pour too. That's the other thing. Pour, regular cool bugs. I don't think this is a challenge we actually need. Imagine dealing with this when you're on 3D as well. Okay. Fresh paste job on the fresh probe. An hour and 39 minutes of doing very little. Well, doing a lot to end up in the same place. So just pasting my thermal probe. X299, by the way, way better for cracked paste in my extremely limited experience. It's just 1151, a nightmare socket, and IHS shape, and all the rest. Okay. going with a different tub of paste as well, just to maximize all the variables. So I'll be really careful with my blue tack job. Gonna put it way below the level of the IHS. Aiming for sort of almost a millimeter, well that's probably exaggerated, but an actual measurable amount of space between the IHS, or height difference between the IHS and the blue tack job. Probably not too necessary with the socket heater. So Timo, yeah, George, I should have shown you under the IHS. It's a substantial amount of paste. Don't worry, I'm well aware of that trick or method. So this is something I haven't shown on stream yet. Last night was 6 hours of just smashing out records, AMD records. Today is just sort of like a knitting class for overclockers. That's sort of the level of excitement. Okay, this is a better paste job than the last time. I'll also pull down differently. Just quickly gonna get some LN. Alright, back. Aussie paste. Don't even know what you mean with that. Yeah, let's mount up. I wish we had our own paste over here. It's bloody expensive to import it. Well, paste is a rip-off anyway. I'm pretty sure it's fake news. We should run completely without paste. Checking the new probe, just make sure it works ambient. Alright. Kangaroo Extreme. There's definitely like an industrial level of paste out there somewhere that's, you know, $5 a kilo or whatever, that will do fine. Extreme. I think it exists. It must be out there somewhere. All of these people are just printing money, especially Thermal Grizzly. So what was it like 10 years ago with paste? There just wasn't any paste? How did it work? Oh, okay. Ugh. I do this way more often than I care to admit. Dropping mounting hardware into the pot. Well, look, paste doesn't crack on AMD. You just need a flat IHS, that's all. Flat IHS and a full pot capable, not capable, a chip that will go full pot 10 times out of 10. Like on Intel, their chips, I mean, people talk about chips that they can't go get going on full pot at all, and their boards or whatever where you can't go full pot. All you need is a chip that goes full pot 10 times out of 10 and a flat IHS, soldered. That's all you need for mount issues. Now, obviously, paste might still give you more frequency or whatever. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying the margins must be really high on this stuff, because it's a niche thing. They don't produce enough, so they can pretend that it's really expensive to produce it in small quantities. Yeah, this mount is better. Oh, let's go back to direct dye. What did people do back in the Athlon XP days, you know? You should have stolen one of those buckets, man. Or like, yeah. What's that? That must be like $10,000 worth of of paste. I swear this this LN2 is colder than usual. I'm getting burns from it, or I'm just handling it way differently. How much LN2 have I poured before? I never burned myself, and now I've burned myself two days in a row. Just getting careless in my old age, I think. I mean, I don't want to harp on about Intel versus AMD and cracked mounts and everything. The last thing I'll say today about Intel versus AMD is, if AMD had boards with 2 DIMMs per total, 1 DIMM per channel, the quality of board basically that we have on Intel, and a selection of them hopefully, and the same IMC, I mean, okay, Intel is not going to license it out, but whatever third party, because AMD gets its IMCs from third parties, whatever third party AMD is paying, just pay them more. Get an IMC that's sort of 90% of what Intel is. Better boards, more binning, maybe something like an 1886K, and you'd be surprised how close AMD would be to Intel today already. But it's not happening, so there's no point in talking about this stuff, you know? It's not happening. The IMC is the problem. I mean, not the only problem, but there are guys out there who are doing like 4300 effective megahertz in Geekbench 3. Try doing that on AMD. Try even getting within 200 megahertz of that. Okay. Okay, postcode seems visible. I'm going to pull down to my... Oh, I'm on LN2 mode. Okay. Disable LN2 mode. Disable RSVD switch. Reset CMOS. And then go to -50. Might be my imagination, but the temp probe is looking a bit more snappy in terms of how fast it reacts to the temp actually dropping. Are you benching too, Team AU? Post some images if you want of your memory or whatever. Links are enabled for all people in chat. No spam restrictions anymore. Temp probe is looking alright. Buys is showing +9. I'll go to higher info again. So you're doing 5 gigahertz pi on SS or ambient? All right. Flipping all the magic switches. C370 sock. Haven't heard of it. Low blow. Maybe the temp probe and the mainboard is just screwed. Piece of cling film for my socket heater is blowing in the wind. Yeah, you gotta do that world record. You've had such a good chip for such a long time. Just go for it. Now that all the Computex sandbags or publicity stunts or whatever are out, just go for it. Maybe I should have even remounted with my F1. Since I haven't said it so far, please press the follow button. I actually need 50 followers to get affiliate status on Twitch. You can turn off notifications. I'm not expecting you to have yourself be spammed with emails whenever I go live, but just press, if you have an account, just press the follow button. It's one click. It helps me out a lot. I'm gonna go 1.5 V-core and 5 gig, I suppose. And minus 80. Yeah, the cores are reading 100 plus, which yeah, just can't be right. But last time I was running Cinebench, I was getting different readings to this. I was getting actual variance in what I was reading, and it was reading like plus 50 and stuff. So I'm taking this as an encouraging sign. Five 5.3. Let's try 4.3. I mean, it was at lower temps, but I wasn't even able to run this last time, so yeah, good. We're getting some places. Wasn't overly positive. That's a euphemism for cheating, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So 606 is my best. This was a 594 run. Just gonna up it to 55. Gonna stay around minus 100. Gonna time this run as well. Maybe we didn't even have any massive cold boot issues and it was just all related to the bad mount. Okay, This is getting places. Thanks for all your help, guys. You both of you combined are 10 times the Intel bencher I am. This might be the first screenshot of the session. $619. It's an extra 13 points. I'll take that. What about that 2001 record, Team AU? Decided against it? Where's my screenshotting utility? I forgot to put that into this OS. There we go. 619 at minus 100. Okay, I need to make sure there aren't too many big temperature swings that ruin our mount again. $980 Ti is the last card you can mod into running XP, right? Gonna go up to 1.6. Okay, it didn't set 5.7 at these temps at least. Oh, you're in Mexican, Ethan. Cool. Gotta get my encore up a bit, if I can. And I'm gonna drop down to minus 120. Doesn't want to go above 55. Multiplier. So that's sounding like full pot. at minus 130. Mexican, German, American, nice. Let's try this at 5.6 again. I can't see through the smoke. Well, this time 5.5 didn't even set. Cheating discussions, I love it. The best. Wow. 80th minute goal. Penalty. Uh, Penalty and an 80th minute goal. Alright, enough about soccer. That's depressing. Yeah, look, everybody knows it's cheated. I don't know about enough about 3D to comment anymore on the score, but pure sort of mathematics will tell you that it's cheated. Okay, let's go at 1.8 V core. Okay, that's applying. 5.2. Make sure we don't get too hot at 1.8 V core. .4. .5 just won't apply. See if we can do it in BIOS. Hi, Dr. Domingo. Welcome to the stream. You haven't missed much in the last 2+ hours. Just mounting, remounting, watching postcodes, that sort of thing. That looks like a clean post. Weird. And now we can apply stuff. Well, that's bleeding amazing. Yeah, okay. 5.6 Cinebench run then. We may actually get some overclocking done today, guys. It seems far-fetched, but it may actually happen. Don't count on it, but yeah. Next run I've got a time so I can run real time without wondering whether it's crashed or not. $6.29. Last run was $6.19. We are getting places. Cover up the evaluation copy thing. 6.29. 6.29. Why did I close Turbo V Core? That wasn't such a good thing to do. Dr. Domingo, how have you been doing? Tell us about your benching adventures. You've got a great audience of exoseers here today. 5.7 applies. Even got a valid out of it. 5.7 at 1.65. Okay, I'm timing this run. I won't have the timer on screen, but it's not an instant crash. That's good. 6 gigahertz out of these chips is already good, because these are all just goddamn fucking awful. So yeah, sorry, I'm not watching the chat too much at the moment. Just focusing on getting some benching in, but I'll catch up. I have the whole history up, so once I need to reboot or get LN2 or whatever, I can catch up. So it's looking like a minute run. We're close to full pod. I know the probe says 114, but we're close to full pod. Full pod was like 140. 635. Just grabbing a quick screenshot here. Team AU, what was the 7350K like at what is at some point you were overseeing a 7350K, if I remember. Was it Super Pi? I'm not sure. What was it like? Do you remember what it handled like? Was it temperamental in terms of cold boot bugs and things? Oh, I'm only on 1800 DRAM. I'll have to push that later. And 5 on core. That was about a minute run. That applied. That also applied. Let's try 6. The multiplier is stuck on 59. I'm gonna just try applying the second time. Okay, that's 6. Just making sure the validation file is saved. Yeah, and it's actually 60000, so that's pretty sweet. Gotta get my temps right. I'm gonna aim for -110. My 7640X does 6 gigahertz on single stage, but this chip, no, doesn't look it. It's not an insta crash. .8. Okay, this is 1.65 at 6 gigahertz, so that's that's multi core though. So if you're saying 1.8 for a single threaded bench, then 1.65 might not be a bad thing. I should probably go lower temp after this and then real time mode. I know, this is a Chinese chip. These were just really bad. I've heard stories of Hazan bidding 100 of these and not getting a good IMC in any of them. Don't know how true that is because it's Hazan, but you know. 673 at, okay, let's make a nice screenshot out of that. What I'm going to do is now go full pot as carefully as I can, checking for cold bugs. That's full pot. You should be able to hear it. Okay. That's a freeze. That's alright, I can bench like 10 degrees under that. I'm not going to fiddle around with the volts anymore. It needs 125 HD boot profile, 125 PCLK. What's VST? So I've got available to me VCCIO, VCCSA, PLL termination voltage I have on auto that probably shouldn't be, and then there's also a CPU standby voltage. I have DMI set to 1.8, core PLL set to 1.8. No, that doesn't really help, does it? I'm going to go up in PLL bandwidth. Also DRAM. PLL bandwidth is something that's suggested in the overclocking guide that it's needed for XOC. Hopefully that boots without me. I'm getting some more LN2. Yay, that's a boot. Yeah, I have that overclocking guide up. Thanks for letting me know. Anyway, I'll go minus 120 on the probe, which isn't too far away from full pot, and just see how much more frequency I can get out of it. And then I'll try another full pot run. I have more memory now too. So my best... was at 6 gigahertz. Yeah, ASRock is good with their naming. I have to say. Okay, well, whatever the PLL bandwidth I set is not interfering with the overclockability as far as I can see so far. 6.1, so I'm going to grab a validation, and that didn't work. Okay, maybe it's time for more vCore now. 1.65 is pretty low for this. Core PLL. Core PLL, you're saying. So I've got PLL termination. Core PLL is at 1.8. That's low. Let's go 2.2 volts as the guide suggests. Let's go up one memory strap as well. Yeah, I should have been more careful. Just setting 1.8, I mean, it got me close to full pot capable, but considering they give the ranges as 1.8 to 2.4 in the guide, I should have probably set something in the middle of the range. No, it's not that warm in here. It's funny how 1.8 vCore ends up being a nice balanced sort of vCore to be at, both on AMD and Intel. Let's go full pot. It's hard work, XOC. trying to be as gentle as possible with going full pot. It's hanging at exactly the same spot. I don't know. I don't know if I really need those last 10 degrees. Maybe I'm better off just benching a little bit higher. Chip killer. I like it. Let's try to set minus 130. Just want to get a few runs in Geekbench 3 and stuff before I try to go full pot again. The Rampage 6 Apex on X299 has two RSVD switches. First one is for Skylake X and KB Lake X, and the second one is just for KB. And the second one gave me cold bugs, so I had to make sure I turned it off. Well, on my 7740X at least, sort of very counterintuitively had to make sure I turn it off. Can't see a damn thing here. 6.1. It's applied. Let's grab a validation. Oh wow. Not even at 1.8 it'll do it. Let's go 1.9. Funny that it passes Cinebench 15 at 6 and won't even validate 6.1. I think it might be time for a little bit of X265. Gotta change my maximum though. Not sure exactly what you missed, George, but got a 6 gigahertz Cinebench run in, messed around with voltages a little bit. Just making sure I have my I really can't see. I need glasses, guys. Yeah, my memory is at 3866. Let's do a 4K run. Okay, on screen, since I can. Let's see what my current best is. I have a 5.36, 250 megahertz less than I'm currently at. So this will be a nice improvement. I had a 5-minute run. This is gonna be like a 4-minute 45 run, maybe. I was on 3900 and 180 refresh. Okay, good to know. Good to know. That focus isn't looking so pretty. So what do people want to talk about? Just gonna get some LN2 while this is running. Just a baseline run. Make sure the system is behaving. Minus 80 is still fine for 5.5. That's frustrating. Is that your 740X or your new 80? You're binning 8086Ks, right? Wow. 92% fail. Yeah, I need a bit more DRAM voltage. Let's raise the core while we're at it. Probably hot IMC as well, contributing to that problem. Oh, look who we have on the rankings here. So this is the 4K rankings. I'm there at 31st with my single stage result. But further up, where we're aiming at, we have a certain somebody called George Storm, I thought. Hold on. Yeah, 13th. Well, it's 6.2. Let's see what settings he used. At 6 point, oh, wow, okay. Okay, so bench still running, guys. So 4K RAM, 6.2 flat mold, 12, 11, 11, 28. Real time, non overkill, obviously. Win 7. Okay. Good to know. Nothing special there. Almost 3 minutes elapsed, so about 2 minutes to go. Yeah, I know. I was kind of just trolling. You'll never see a tweak in X. Well, very rarely will you see a tweak in X265 that's visible in the screenshot anyway. Almost at the stage where the credits pop up now. The really cruel thing is how there's no globals under the new revision 7 or whatever it's called until like 6.3 gigahertz or something. Of course it doesn't want to load for me now. Okay, that's a completed bench. So we'll take note of the 1.9 DRAM. 5.878. Gotta go colder. That was the baseline run for 4K. Let's go back to 1080p and just see what we can do in terms of core. That's BCLK up a little bit as well. And give it as much chance of completing as possible by going cold. It's looking like a crash. Sounding like a crash. Yeah, okay. Let's go for 4K RAM. Be nice to have an IMC. That's good enough for that. $55. Retry. Gotta go cold enough too. One more retry. It's looking like you might train. This is the 3866 profile, so I assume it's reasonably tight for 4000. Jughead, what's up with you? You were talking about getting a new single stage earlier? Okay. Let's give the DRAM a little bit more. IO and SA should probably go up a bit as well. Not sure I should be messing around too much with the memory. So are you building these single stages from scratch, or what's going on? Do you have some help? Gonna raise the encore. Raising the encore allowed me to raise the core the last time. So yeah, I really like my single stage as well. It's currently not working. The compressor's not kicking in, and I just don't have the time or patience at the moment to get it sorted out. But yeah, would have helped me. The noise is insane though. I wish I could just put a hole in the wall and just run only the CPU attachment through the wall, because there's no way I when I'm benching and I'm not streaming, I want to listen to music, but I can't because the SS is too loud. That's looking like a post. Yeah, another guy in the local area has a single stage that's a little bit probably has a little bit less heat capacity, but it actually holds similar temps, low temps, and it's whisper quiet compared to mine. Mine is just yeah, it's insane. This guy has like an SS that's, okay, let me get this in shot. Like this size, it's just like a cat or something. I have an SS that's the size of like a child's bicycle. Let's rerun Cinebench with all that in mind. Higher encore, higher memories, also real-time mode maybe. Let's raise the cache. I found the cache setting in TV Turbo VCore. Cache doesn't usually do too much for Cinebench, but it can't hurt. Let's just time it once again. It's looking like a fail. What are you using for your chiller? I have a Hylea HC500. I haven't built my chiller yet, but George, SS is the best, man. We can't all be rolling in cash like you and just buying LN2 all the time when we feel like benching. Throw a single core or dual core in there if it can't it can't cope with the heat load. It's 2 a.m. I'm slurring my speech. All I've had is cocaine? No, Coca-Cola and water to drink. Yeah, Team AU, you don't really bench old stuff, but if you got to do like Sandy or old AMD, single stages where it's at. Now Cascade would be sweet. That opens up even more opportunities. No, I wasn't at 1.8 V core, but I was at lower cache. Let's try 1080p again then. My best was 22.98 FPS. At 5.3. Better RAM though. Okay, let's quickly save this and go for a 5.8 run. How come we're hanging? Clock watchdog again. PLL bandwidth level 2. Maybe I need more core voltage just because of the cache. That's the ceiling. It's getting late, guys. I've flipped the RSVD switch off, and I've changed the PL bandwidth setting to the one suggested in the overclocking guide. I'm not going to go full pot yet, but I'm going to try later. Don't think I've ever set 4 threads in this damn thing. Let's just run it like this. Ugh. That was a quick fail. That wasn't cold enough. Okay, Geekbench 3. It's also worth globals. Went slightly too cold there. So the phone I was hotspotting off of went dead. Wasn't plugged in. Back on my ADSL now. My mount might be dead again. So many reboots. I'm gonna pack it in after these thermoses are empty. I know a little bit more about this chip now. Yeah, that's showing positive temperatures again. Alright. That's the end of this session. If anybody has any questions, let me know now. Just gonna get my rig picks in. Oh. Gotta put the alien in the shot in some way. Ugh. Alright, folks. Thank you for watching. Thanks for helping me out. I got 3 or 4 scores out of the system. It's a new board, it's a new chip. And it does 6 gigahertz. I don't know why I was having so many issues with... I mean, it validated 6. It ran 6 in Cinebench, but then it didn't validate 6.1, which was a bit weird. Anyway, good night. It's 2:20 at night. And don't watch the soccer. Whatever you do, do something else.